cannot believe my beautiful boat has been wrecked. I don't know how wrecked it is, but it's bad. The mooring ball was right out there and it broke. It's floating right there on the beach right now. So the boat just came crashing to the beach. Nothing we could do about it. I'm exhausted. Exhausted. Hey gang, greetings from Tortola. I'm at a hotel room here at Nanny Key. And it's 2 days past our little incident, and it's time to talk about it. I just want to do this not to, draw attention to it, but that's what I do all the time. But I basically want to explain everything that happened and show you the footage that I have. I have some, not a lot, but some of what happened and how my friends were amazing and helped out, and how Simon, my boat manager, has just been the hero of the world, as has Dave Biggie at Marine Max. Yeah, so let's just get into it. I could sit here also and try to defend myself, but this is not a defending my actions video. I don't intend it to be, because I have no actions to defend. I will explain some things as we go that will better help those who want to criticize me understand what we did, or I did, and when I did it. First of all, I just want to say thank you for all of the people who have given me positive comments and who have passed along their blessings and their concerns. It means the world to me. You don't know how much it means to me. I want to thank April Smith. She has been wonderful with me as well. A good friend. Anyway, so here's what happened. So on Tuesday, I had a whole new set of guys come in. I don't have any footage of this because the GoPro that this was all on got swept out to sea. We left Nanny Key around 10:30 in the morning. There's 5 of us, 4 of my friends from Nashville, and 5 guys. And so we head on over to Trunk Bay, a place that I've stayed before. As a matter of fact, I stayed there last week. Here's a picture of my 54, the Wandering Hillbilly, on a ball. There's 3 balls there, and we stayed on that ball for 3 hours. Now, what we did is looked it up. I looked up the ball. I wanted to know who owns the ball, what's going on. And on Navionics, it says this: Sugarcane Restaurant mooring balls. Well, that's exactly why I wanted to go, because I wanted to go to Sugarcane. I hear it's a great restaurant. So the second I picked up the ball and tied us off, I called Sugarcane. The man answered. I don't know who the man was. He answered, and I said, I'm on your ball down here. I hope that's okay. We want to walk up and have lunch. He said, absolutely. Stay on the ball and come on up. So that's what we did. Now let me say here, I also know several captains of other Aquila 54-foot Power Cats who use these balls all the time. So that's another recommendation that led me here. We had lunch, took about an hour and a half. We walked back down, we hung out on the beach a little bit. Then we got in the dinghy and took off and dropped the ball and left. Now, the one thing I do have to say about this particular ball last week was, look at this picture. My wife, who was ill last week, was asleep on that boat while we were gone for 3 hours. If that ball would have let go with my wife in there, okay, so back to 2 days ago. So we grab a ball. We didn't grab the exact same ball that I did last week. You'll see a ball to the left of me here. That's the ball we grabbed this time. They're all the same. They look the same. They're all the same size. So I picked it up and then tested the lines. I always test the lines to make sure everything's good. The winds were about 3 to 4 knots heavier that day than they were the week before, and the surf was a lot higher. So I decided I was not going to put my dinghy over that surf, but it would be easy to swim to. All 5 of us agreed. We're all in pretty good shape, so we all decided we'd just swim in. So the guys started swimming in one by one, taking stuff. I was the last guy on the boat. And right before I jumped in, I thought, well, let me go check it again. And I walk up front and I check my lines again. It annoys the hell out of my wife when I get up in the middle of the night because I want to go check the lines on a mooring ball, because you hear stuff and you just want to be sure. I've always done this. It annoys her to death, but That's just the way it is. We've been there about an hour and a half now. I jump in the water and I swim to shore. Takes 10 minutes. I had great footage of me swimming to the shore, but again, it was lost. As soon as I get to the beach and stand up, a buddy of mine says, "Alan, I think the boat's coming towards us." And I turn around, and sure enough, the boat had followed me all the way in. It was about 30 feet offshore at this point, but with every wave, it was coming closer and closer. Now, here's where I did something stupid. I jumped in the water and started swimming towards the boat. Naturally, I want to save my baby. I wanted to get on board, fire up the engines, and get her out of there before before she crashed. And by the way, the mooring ball is still attached to my lines up front during this time. As soon as I swim towards the boat, a big wave comes in and pushes the boat towards me, and I just about had a head-on collision with the side of a 50,000-pound boat. It was not smart. That thing could have knocked me out, sucked me under, and I'd have been caught in between holes, and that would have been disastrous. Luckily, it stopped right before it hit me, so I got back out and I ran to the other side of the beach where the transom is, or the stern is, and I kind of dove in and I grabbed a hold of the ladder, which was out, pulled myself up on the boat right as an enormous wave hit the boat, and as I was on my way up to the fly bridge, we hit. It was like the force of 10 car wrecks. It knocked me down, I hit my head, but I'm fine. And then for every 9 seconds, it's another car crash. Boom, boom. There's no way to tell you. I did fire the engines up. I tried to push my starboard engine forward. I could tell I was already in the sand, so I stopped. So the priority at that point was securing her so that she didn't go into the rocks. She was about 15 feet away from the rocks and moving toward the rocks. Slowly, but moving. So while the guys were on the beach, I started throwing them every line I had so that they could try to tie the Hillbilly off to all the rocks that were on the beach. And they did an amazing job. I also dropped the anchor instantly because I knew if I could get that anchor down into the beach and into the sand and pull it tight, that it would stop me from going backwards. This was our finest hour. We saved her from hitting the rocks. She never touched a rock. She landed when we were all done, she was about 5 feet away. These guys don't know anything about boating, but they went out there and they worked their asses off. And as you can see here in this video, you can see the dinghy there, which was damaged. You can see how it's all tied together. After I felt that she was going to stay right where she was, then I picked up my phone and started filming. And this is what I got. We got lines running, anchor dangerously close to rocks. Everything's a mess. Cannot believe my beautiful boat has been wrecked. This is unbelievable. I don't know how wrecked it is, but it's bad. It's taken a pounding, but I think we're safe for now. Buoy ball was right out there and it broke. It's floating right there on the beach right now. So the boat just came crashing to the beach. Nothing we could do about it. I'm exhausted. Exhausted. We're all around rocks. I hope we don't hit rocks. Harrowing to even look at that, but it is what it is, right? Now, time for the rescue. I called Simon. He immediately got the word out to everyone. We were there about an hour before people showed up, but we finally, the salvage guys showed up, and bless his heart, Dave Biggie, vice president of MarineMax, Worldwide MarineMax Vacations, shows up with another Aquila 54 and 3 people aboard. Now this is important. This is really important here because I've seen some comments about those balls aren't worthy of a 54-foot yacht. Take a look at this video. You'll see right there, you'll see the other Aquila 54 that showed up, and he stayed on that ball for 90 minutes as well. That's the same ball I was on last week. So that tells me that ball's fine. It just tells me the ball I picked this time was not. And that's the bottom line. Anyway, the salvage guys did an amazing job. Simon convinced them they wanted to leave the boat there for a few days to let the swell go down, and Simon convinced them, no, we're not going to do that. So those guys were amazing. They're like Marines. They come up on the beach and their gear and pumps and stuff. And so they tied it up, and about an hour later, here's what happened. They pulled it out.
She's off.
Okay, so they took it over to Spanish Town on Virgin Gorda. They didn't feel like it could get over to Tortola. They were pumping water out. Water was also still coming in too, unfortunately. So we get it up on blocks. Now here's where it gets worse. I made a post yesterday about didn't see any possible hull damage. I was completely wrong. This is where it gets really sad. So yesterday, Simon and I went back over to take a look at her, and I had a camera with me this time, and this is what I saw. Color's completely bent, and that has stabbed a hole in the bottom of the boat. That's a hole in the boat right there. The rudder's completely bent. Big hole in the boat, so obviously this is a hell of a lot worse. Heart is breaking. Swim platform's broken. Sand and dirt everywhere. I'm sure that shaft is completely bent. All this was underwater, so all that's bad. See the hole in the boat down there, right where the rudder is. Absolutely amazing that these salvagers got it here. They were pumping faster than it was coming in. That's how they did it. Shut up, rooster. Oh God. Look at all that sand. And again, another hole in the boat down there. I don't know that this is salvageable. All that jostling around, and the chips never came out of the bowl. How is that possible? Stereo still works. Ceiling came down. Wax candles are still good. Stuff jostled around, but okay. Interior is has been saved. Basically, interior is good. Shut up. And we go. There was water down there, and there's some. Obviously, there was water on the floor in here. And sucks. Alcohol made it. I hit that table yesterday, bouncing around. Really hurt. still here. It's good. I'm telling you right now, Simon, if you want to buy the best chip bowl in the world, everybody, this is Simon who saved my ass yesterday over and over again.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too. Okay, going down here. This was full of water, obviously. It's a sad state of affairs right there. What is it about men leaving their underwear behind? There's food and clothes and things like that. And a nice big bucket of beer. From the looks of what I saw under the boat and conferred with Simon, it's a possibility this is total. As you might imagine, just a lot of emotions. Mostly sad, heartbreak. I don't know if it's repairable. I don't know if it's salvageable. I mean, the interior is beautiful, but both of those engine rooms are going to have to be stripped clean and start over. I think. I'm not an expert, but everyone I'm talking to down here feels that way. My insurance company has been wonderful so far. I'm not going to give you any details about it. The owner of the mooring ball has contacted us. I'm not going to tell you about our conversation because that's between us and maybe insurance. I don't know. I think a lot of people, and these are, I'm going to go back to the rude comments. I think a lot of people think, oh, here's this guy from Hollywood with a lot of money in his pocket and he's playing captain. And he's not a real captain. He doesn't really know what he's doing. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing. Yeah, I'm a Hollywood director. You know what that means? That means on a daily basis, I eliminate points of failure. I'm a live Hollywood director. I cannot fail. I cannot let the boat crash, so to speak, when I'm live on TV. Therefore, before I go live on TV, I eliminate all points of failure. And I take that directly to being a captain. I wake up in the morning with one thought. I got to eliminate all points of failure today and let my guests and I have an amazing time. So if you think I'm a flippant Hollywood director who doesn't know what the hell he's doing, then get off my channel. That's not who I am. If I did fail on this day, it was the basic fact that the winds were higher and the swells were higher and that ball couldn't take it. Couldn't take my big, heavy 54-footer. But how was I to know that? The other 54 was fine on the other ball when it showed up in the same conditions. But look, if that's my fault, I accept it. So where are we going from here, gang? I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. If she's totaled, it's going to be very difficult for me to do this again because she was perfect. My wife and I made her perfect. And yes, I've had so many issues with that boat. So some of you may be saying, Alan, let it go, get another one, let's do it right this time. I don't know. I'm also very emotional right now, obviously. So I don't know that, I don't know. I can't make that call yet. Plus, we don't know what's going to happen. I have a lot of footage of our week prior, so I'll probably put together a few videos like that for you to see. One thing, a little passion project I've been wanting to do 2.5 years ago, I made the 7-day itinerary video in the BVI. It's outdated now because I don't even think the Bitter End Yacht Club was open at the time I did that video. So when I get back to Omaha, I'm actually gonna sit down and I'm gonna remake that video. It's gonna be bigger and better than ever. So that's one project I have on my slate. I again thank every one of you who has given me support and have said positive things and wonderful things. You mean a lot to me and my wife, and I thank you for that. I really, really thank you for that. See you guys.